It's been a couple days. It's been like a week. I think last Wednesday when he was assassinated, and I'm just gonna give my honest opinions because, like, I know I've retweeted and we posted a bunch of the stuff, but like, I want to make a lot of things clear because some of y'all may not understand me well. So, yeah, I'm gonna explain to you. If somehow you're dumb enough to not hear the news, you can Google it. But basically, we all know he was at a speech and of like a speech tour and stuff, and some lunatic don't care what his views were, his identity, I don't care about all that stuff, shot him. And I'm gonna make this very clear and that people need to understand me. How he died was not right, okay? He did not deserve to die like that. I feel somewhat bad for his wife and especially his kids. I feel especially bad for his kids. But the thing is, Kirk was far from a good human being. Now, none of us are perfect, and you are free to believe whatever you want. But Kirk was more than just differing political views. There was a lot he said. I know there's like the famous clip of him saying like, it's necessary for people to die for us to have the Second Amendment, which some people are thinking that's actually stupid, gross, and insensitive, but I think that's more of irony than anything. Like, a lot of people said like Charlie Kirk would have supported how Charlie Kirk died, which I think is kind of funny. But like, you know, nothing is funny. So of course, me being me, because I disagree with a lot of stuff. He said a lot of racist, misogynistic, homophobic, transphobic, Islamophobic, anti-Semitic, a lot of stuff. If you want to know exactly what he said, then like, you could probably find clips online. I mean, because this guy was like, he was like the Addison Rae of the Republican Party. And so because I didn't like what he said, and I thought he was absolutely horrible, I was like, I'm not mourning his death. I repeatedly said he shouldn't have died like that. Oh, really? If he was gonna die, I'd rather him die from like a heart attack than like getting shot at. But like, I didn't exactly want him to die, I just wanted him to be a better person. And I feel like, somehow, like, his death just made people less empathetic towards others. Like, Charlie Kirk's death essentially created more Charlie Kirks, which, if you're part of the Republican Party, that's probably great, but if you're a liberal like me, we just got owned. So, but I want to make it clear, just because I wasn't mourning him doesn't mean I was celebrating. Like that. I was just accusing him of all the bad things he'd said. Or did. Like, and then people would block me because they thought I was, quote, celebrating. I was not, okay? They're like, you're an ugly and disgusting human being. You know what else means ugly? You know what else is ugly and disgusting? Being transphobic, homophobic, misogynistic, all these things. Just like Charlie. If we think about it, like 9/11 was worse. Because it wasn't just the assassination of one person. It was the assassination of like thousands. Like, how many terrorists were there? With like the Charlie Kirk thing. I don't know, 1. How many terrorists were there during 9/11? Like 19! Something like that. And then like, almost like 3,000 people died from 9/11, which, yeah, that includes the terrorists, but the terrorist count was 19, so that really doesn't make a difference. So, but like, apparently, but we can make jokes about that. You know what I mean? So and then the whole trend thing on TikTok, like, it started out with, like, they call me red flags, but I'm actually a liberal. And you know, that was fine. But then some people, like, they call me red flags. Well, good, because I'm a Republican. Now, on the surface, that's all right. I mean, if the Republican, like, really supports Trump, then they're not really Republican, are they? A true Republican places their country and their morals over party, okay? Like, actually, my mom met a Republican today, and that Republican voted for Kamala because they don't like Trump. You know, there is nothing wrong with voting for someone that is not your political party, you know? Just saying. And then people, like, they call me red flags, but at least I'm not blue. Like, no political party is better than any others. Yes, now obviously, the Republican Party definitely has, like, louder extremists, far-rightist, MAGA fascists, but the Democrats probably also have, like, extremists. It's just not as obvious. But, like, that doesn't mean the entire Democratic Party is bad. No, it doesn't mean the Republican Party is all bad. There are a lot of things wrong with both parties, yes. Like, I think Democrats aren't, like, taking... I mean, but the thing is, because the Republicans are in power and because, like, MAGA, which is like a cult, is the majority of the Republican Party, the Republican Party today is a lot different than it was 12 years ago. Well, like, the Democratic Party has pretty much stayed the same for the last 12 years. The Republican Party has gone way more right-wing. They're not even right-wing anymore. They're, like, far-right. There's a difference between left-wing and far-left. Like, radical leftists are not... there's a difference between radical leftist and just leftist. And liberal. And progressive. And moderate. Same thing. Republican, conservative, far-right, and MAGA. They're different. They are not all the same thing. So tell me. And then this one girl be like, she says the craziest thing ever. It's like, the Republican Party is the one that doesn't tell lies. I mean, yeah, Democrats probably lie too, but like, the Republican Party, they lie about a lot of stuff. They claim vaccines are dangerous. They're not. They claim that pretty much all liberals suck. Not all liberals suck. Like me. Anyways, and then she said, men are not women, women are not men. That is transphobic. I'm sorry, but that's how I interpret it, and that is transphobic. Unless she corrects me otherwise, which I don't think she has. But I've met several trans people in the past, and they are incredibly nice, and I see them as just another human being. I don't see them as awful, unlike what some people be, and those people should go, get an education, and then, in the same, I know what else. She said that liberals do not support the First Amendment. They hate the First Amendment. Huh? like the First Amendment just as much, if not more than conservatives. Conservatives, they love the Second Amendment. Liberals love the First Amendment. Like, the First Amendment exists so that way we can even have these conversations in the first place. And you're gonna fire people for telling their opinions. What? Okay, I'm pretty much ready. I'm ready to go to bed, so that's pretty much gonna be it. Bye.